Crawford's basically answering all questions as far as Teofimo's throwing out right now. I don't know if Teofimo's too much focus right now on the fight. I questioned that this weekend, but I was saying that he can have a little fun, you know, going out. He ain't got to be all super serious before the fight. But, man, he don't look like he locked in for real. Jamaine Ortiz is a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? Jamaine Ortiz is a tough fight. That's probably going to be the toughest fight he'd have had besides, what, Loma and probably Kambosos? But this is going to be the hardest fight he'd have had so far. He's not focused like that? I don't know. I'm kind of concerned, man. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off. Terence Crawford throwing a lot of shots at him. A lot of guys coming at him right now as far as some remarks he done said. Kambosos basically came back at him. Said he finally acknowledged the loss, you know what I'm saying? He's basically finally talking about he wants a rematch. And Kambosos looking at it like, I tried to give you a rematch. You want to do street fights and all this other stuff, but I tried to fight you already. Kambosos been trying to fight this man. So Kambosos basically exposes what I've been saying a couple of videos ago. Bro, I be trying to tell y'all, bro. I be yodeling some of this stuff. Because I tried to tell y'all a couple of videos ago. Teofimo could have fought Kambosos with a rematch. And Kambosos just confirmed that the deal that Devin Haney took is the one that Teofimo didn't want to take. Which was then passed down to passed down to Lomachenko. Lomachenko had a deal, then they passed it down to Devin Haney. Then after Devin Haney, they had Devin Haney take the same deal. Now those same people, they looking at the deal like it's not the same deal that everybody been taking. Teofimo acting like nobody's been taking that deal. And he knows better than that. He knows everybody been taking the same deal. He just didn't want to take it. But that's no excuse to act like now you want to fight Kambosos. And that's what Terence Crawford told him. Terence Crawford was like, man, you need to worry about George Kambosos. You need to get your revenge back. That's why I'm be saying a lot of these guys in boxing, now they get a loss. They don't even want to get their rematch back. Man, I don't even respect that. You got all kind of chances and opportunities to get a rematch. And you don't even care about it. You like, oh, whatever. These dudes don't even care about a rematch. Kambosos said, I gave him a chance to get a rematch just like I did. I went overseas, came to America, won the belt. Then when I got the belt, wanted Teofimo to come to Australia, get the belt back. He didn't want to do it. And people trying to put him on pound for pound list. Man, get out of here. He ain't going on no pound for pound. All these losses he got, he don't want to get the Well, really, he got more. He got that Sandor Martin fight, man. He got knocked down twice in that fight. That's a loss. They talking about the second knockdown don't count. When the second knockdown was harder than the one they said wasn't a knockdown, that punch was hard. That knockdown was harder than the one they said was a knockdown. So I don't believe everything they talking about with that, man. I don't believe everything they saying with that. That was a hard fight. Sandor Martin, he could have won that fight. But for Teofimo to act like Terence Crawford and everything, and you know what? I'm gonna say something else too, bro. All them guys at 140, I don't care, champions or not, whoever they are. Man, I ain't trying to hear about nobody fighting at 147, bro. It sounds like people ducking smoke now, man. I'm gonna be real. Everybody at 140 acting like 140 ain't got no talent over there. It sounds like people ducking smoke. It sounds like people ducking smoke, man. That's exactly what's going on. Jamaine Ortiz, if he get a belt, hey, see what's gonna happen. Jamaine Ortiz get a belt, you gonna see what's happening. I hope Teofimo focus. That's what Terence Crawford told him. He was like, man, good luck on your fight, though. You know what I'm saying? You got a tough fight coming up. Yeah, he got a real opponent in front of him. Jamaine Ortiz really coming to fight. He ain't coming to, you know, this might be one of his last opportunities. I don't want to say that, but at the same time, man, it be like that sometimes. You get about 2 losses. These days, they act like, that's like 50 losses. It's kind of hard to come back from that. But I don't know, man. Teofimo, he been tweeting a lot, saying a lot of different things, going to different fights, interviews. I don't know why he wasn't doing this last year. He doing more now than he a month before the fight than he was doing a couple of months before the fight. Yeah, man, I'm gonna give Jamaine Ortiz the edge as far as preparation right now. As far as the fight, that's not even a question. I'm definitely giving him the edge. He's taking this very serious. I don't know what level Teofimo think Jamaine Ortiz on. Fight week, we will find out though. I might not do a breakdown till fight week. It all depends, man. I wish they would have had an early press conference like they did with him and Kambosos. They had told me a lot, man. I had actually picked Kambosos after that first press conference before they actually even weighed in or anything. I don't know. A lot of people don't like to acknowledge that win that Kambosos got against Teofimo Lopez. It's kind of a shame that Lomachenko has a big match coming up against Kambosos, and ever since Devin Haney kind of shut out Kambosos in 2 fights, people haven't been really interested in Kambosos. It was a lot of people. That's why I'm surprised, because I picked Kambosos to beat Teofimo Lopez, but as soon as Kambosos lost to Haney, everybody jumped off the bandwagon. Like, there's a lot of fake boxing fans out here. You know what I'm saying? That's why if Kambosos magically get an upset against Lomachenko, you'll see a lot of fans come out and act like they just super Kambosos fans, when really can't really find any right now. But with him Teofimo, I feel like Teofimo should have got that rematch, but I guess he know that the style just didn't really work. That's why I was saying recently about Arnold Barbosa. Him and Kambosos got a similar style, but I feel like Barbosa just, his style is a little more violent, so that'll just be a little too much trouble for Teofimo. But people kind of see Kambosos still as a threat, and Kambosos feel like he's a threat also. Feels like Teofimo really hasn't given himself a shot lately, as far as being a top dog or being at that level. Teofimo should have been trying to get a rematch with Kambosos though. He could have made a way to become undisputed and have a fight with possibly Haney. But I don't think he wanted to have that fight with Haney, so. But Kambosos did, so you gotta respect that. Kambosos didn't have to make the fight with Devin Haney, but he wanted to hit that level as far as being one of those pound-for-pound fighters. He's still trying to be pound-for-pound, I guess, because he's fighting Lomachenko, who people said is a pound-for-pound fighter all these years. So if Kambosos was to go up there and beat Lomachenko and Teofimo, that'll be a huge on his resume. So a lot of people got to realize that he's still in the thick of things. So just got to recognize that. I know a lot of people, when somebody loses Devin Haney, everybody just Loma, and then Kambosos, and everybody just disappeared. So I feel like he still has a chance, but he gotta come out right, man. Stamina. I ain't like his stamina his last fight. He's been gunshot lately too. I feel like Devin Haney kind of took the confidence out of him. I don't really like that, but if he can kind of put some things together, fighting in his hometown or fighting in his home country, so he should be good. But if that's not enough around this time, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to kind of for him to show his face around town, because that's gonna be 3 losses in his country that he done had. And he done had what, 3 of his last 4 fights been in Australia, so George is kind of lucky, man. Definitely lucky. He's very lucky, so you gotta take advantage of this. Most people don't get those kind of opportunities. A lot of guys, they gotta. Then he's making a lot of money overseas in this country, so he just gotta get that hunger back. That's all I see. If he can do that, he'll have a chance. If he can't do that, it's gonna be a long day. But Teofimo, he has to get rid of these guys as far as making them headline news. He got to focus on his opponent. Because I like Jamaine Ortiz's chances. And the more he talks, I like his chances even more. I want to pick Teofimo Lopez, because I feel like Lopez, he can go out there and execute. If he fight like he used to, fights like he normally does, not like he's have done in the last 5 years. Last 5 years, he's fought pretty sloppy. But if he can fight basically like he did when he started his career, he'll have a good chance. He got to fight like the old Gordo, though. If he fight like new Gordo, it's going to go bad. I feel like he should have a little more head movement in the Josh Taylor fight as well. His head movement used to be excellent, but now it's like he takes a lot more punches to the face than he should. He got to get back to boxing, being elusive, trying not to get a knockout, you know what I'm saying, or a power punch. A lot of guys don't want to have that punch output, and he was jabbing a lot in a few fights. I felt like that left him open a lot of times when he was kind of reaching and stabbing with the jab, but Teofimo, man, he's not ready for Terence Crawford. I know a lot of people might feel like he is because he got power and stuff. Nah, man, he ain't ready for Terence Crawford. I don't know who people think Terence Crawford is. Like, he was at 35 not too long ago. He was at 35, he was at 40. Josh Taylor ain't want no smoke, so they could have been made that fight. So it's a lot of things that was going on that guys really, he didn't fight Josh. If Terence Crawford would have fought Josh Taylor, it wouldn't have went like what Teofimo did. Teofimo, nah. Terence Crawford, he a lot more than what Josh Taylor brings to the table. Terence Crawford getting in the ring with you, it's not gonna go 12. It's not gonna go 12 rounds. Somebody gotta get knocked out. That's what Teofimo don't understand. It won't be a 12-round fight. It'll be a toe-to-toe. Whoever wins, and that's how it'll go. But I feel like he's just promoting himself and marketing himself. But at this time, though, he ain't got to do all that. He ain't got to do all that. All he got to do is show up, make sure he don't get into the kind of mold or depression that he feel like he need to retire. I don't feel like the retire talk really, that's what people don't realize. Like, he was just talking about retiring. I don't know if he was trying to pull a Jordan or not, or a Jay-Z, but he was just talking about retiring. Now he's turning around talking about Terence Crawford. That's how you know Terence Crawford a big dog now. They call him Terence Crawford now. They ain't even calling, guys ain't even saying other guys' name. They saying, yeah, I'll fight Terence Crawford. Man, we just want to see you fight a top 140. You ain't got to fight Terence Crawford. We just want to see a top 140 guy. That's it. If we can get a top 140 guy, we'll be straight right there. But it's a lot of people right now, man, they don't look like they're trying to fight any top 140s. They're trying to go to 147, and they know 147 becoming a weak division right now. They kind of move around in 147. I'm telling you, that's why everybody's saying something about 147. You notice 147, Terence Crawford got busy by Earl Smith. Now it's kind of like 147 is not really a competitive division now. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Very weird. I thought 147 would be way more competitive than what it is now, but it's always been a stalemate, you know, lately. They've been relying on Spence for the last couple of years. Terence Crawford wasn't even at 147 though, so that just lets you know how weak it is when he just came up and kind of taking over the division. But this is probably gonna be that fight with Teofimo. It's gonna be a huge fight though. That's gonna be one of the Fight of the Year candidates. Teofimo always got a good fight though. He always got a good fight. It's gonna be a Fight of the Year candidate right here though. Guaranteed. Teofimo, he ain't gotta do no Ric Flair promo, man. All he gotta do is show up and fight and beat him, and we gonna come and watch. Definitely. But that George Kambosos thing I was telling y'all about though, I told y'all he didn't want that Kambosos rematch. He did not want that rematch. He didn't want that. He didn't want to do a couple of things. I knew he was hiding doing a couple of things. He didn't want to do a couple of things. I knew he was hiding. I don't know, man. Like, when y'all bring up certain fighters, that's how I know y'all be trying to protect guys. Because when I bring up this same stuff that Kambosos and Terence Crawford saying about Teofimo, y'all don't want to talk about it. But when these guys bring it up, everybody want to retweet it and talk about it. Man, y'all know the real information, man. Y'all scared. Y'all scared to admit certain stuff. Then they always act like, oh, that's talking about somebody. No, it ain't. Because y'all do that to all kind of people. Even the fighters be doing that. Calling guys bums and stuff. Then when somebody else do it, they want to get mad. Man, like, nah. Everybody can keep that same energy. Y'all want to start the standard? See, they want to set a standard to a certain place, and then when we start upholding that standard, then they want to get mad. Like, okay. That's how we going to go. And I already said Kambosos been calling this guy out for a rematch. How the guy who lost to Kambosos, how he just going to overleap Kambosos and now he just a top 140 because he left the division? It ain't my fault he got ran out of the division. That's his fault. You ain't supposed to let nobody run you out your division. He supposed to be a top guy. What he get ran out of the division for? But y'all don't want to acknowledge that though. Getting ran out of the whole division. Don't nobody know why. We talking about the weight. The weight was never a problem when he had the belts. As soon as he lost the belts, he was like, oh, well, it's a weight problem now. And then recently, he had said something about he can go down back to 135 if he wanted to. I'm like, he can go back to 135? They saying, yeah, he can make 135. I'm like, so he can go all the way back down to 135 for a certain fight. Like when he was talking about Tank. The fight with Tank was going to be at 135. So it's really not really concrete what weight class he's going to stay in. I know he has a belt at 140 right now, but he's not really interested in fighting anybody at 140 in the near future as far as guys I've seen. I know the Jamaine Ortiz fight is next up, but who could possibly be next after that? But I've already said the plans about the fight down the line that he's going to possibly try to look towards and other things he has planned, but that's just some secret plans right now. I can't really give it out, but he's definitely going to keep making big fights, but I just don't know if it's going to be at 140. right now, I know he was probably going to defend the belt at 140. I know he wasn't going to try to just get the belt and let it go. I know Tank likes to give up certain belts certain times, but I don't think Teofimo is a certain guy that would like to go without having a belt. That's something he probably values a lot more. Just because, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't really had a belt in a while since he lost it at 135. So that's just something he's probably interested in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys like to be champion. That's why he likes to be at the fights and, you know, get interviews. You don't get many interviews when you come off a loss and you're not really a champion. You know, things like that sometimes, especially in the media. So he's just trying to basically find his spot as far as what he can bring to the table. But I feel like he got to stay out the news, man, because they're going to have so many headlines by the time fight week come with him. With Terence Crawford, they're going to be asking him all kind of questions about different guys. They ain't even going to ask him questions about Jamaine Ortiz. They're going to ask him about Kambosos and all these guys. But a fight with him and Kambosos would be nice, though. I would like to see a rematch. Now, if Teofimo and Kambosos end up losing, could I see them possibly having a nah? Because Teofimo's not at 135. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, that'll just be a whole waste. It wouldn't really be something that I would actually take serious. He's not at 135, and it wouldn't be something I take serious. So I can't really say that Teofimo should be taken serious as far as 135, but as far as 140, yeah, for the time being. But who knows what will happen in the future at 135? It depends who's down there and for how long. But I don't see too many guys trying to go back down and weight. Just a weight cut, and it'll be once you go up in that weight, and you don't want to cut an extra 5 pounds, unless you're someone who's just been walking around and not cutting much weight at all. But hey, a lot of these guys after a while, you're gonna be known as the guy who just call everybody out, or you're gonna be known as someone who just put guys on the hit list and get rid of them. But if you don't get rid of Jamaine Ortiz, and I'm not gonna say it's gotta be an outstanding fashion, but it gotta be impressive at least, or it gotta be a win. Period. I just want to see a win. To the other fans, it gotta be probably impressive, but I just want to see a win, because it's gonna be a tough fight. He can easily lose this fight, especially with him not being focused like that. So I'm definitely looking towards that. But Terence Crawford just had to let him know, like, bro, you're not really on that level right now. You still got to worry about Kambosos. I've been telling people for a long time, man, Kambosos, that was a hard loss for Teofimo. That's why when people don't really put him and the Barbosa thing together, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the same thing all over again. Kind of makes you wonder, like, is Teofimo in a position now where he's being hunted again? You know, so it's easy to get, once you get that belt, it's not as hard as when you got to defend it and you got guys trying to attack you and trying to attack your character and trying to set up a fight. He's definitely on the other side again, though. But him and Kambosos are champions right now. So they're not really in a place where they just need a fight or they looking for something. They both got big fights lined up, but I feel like Teofimo should just be a little more focused right now. I feel like the stuff he's doing now, he should have been doing probably like 5 or 6 months ago. Which he was, but I don't know. It's getting a little too close to fight day right now. It's time to focus on Jamaine Ortiz. That's all I got, though. Like and subscribe.